Hej DanishTuber, velkommen tilbage til Daily Necessary Danish Phrases Part 4. I love saying that, never gets old. Denne gang bliver det en udfordring for jer. This time is gonna be a challenge for you, fordi I kan ikke se mig, because you cannot see me. You usually have the advantage of me sitting on the sofa. Prepositions. And you can of course see my lips moving. Today I'm going to challenge you a little bit. Well, it's not really going to be so challenging. You can do it. Because, well, we're just going to go through some phrases, right? And basically, it's going to be a little bit like a podcast, I guess. I mean, you can go ahead and put your phone away in your pocket, walk around and live your life if you want. But you're going to be able to see the phrases on the screen. And I'm going to translate them into English and probably give you a few little details when it seems relevant. So, lad os gøre det. Vi kommer i gang. Let's do it. Let's get going. And today it's going to be about small talk, questions, and getting to know other people. So some of the most important questions you ask people when you're trying to get to know them, and some of the most common small talk sort of questions. So here we go. The first one is, Hej, hvad hedder du? Hej, hvad hedder du? Hej, hvad hedder du? Hey, what's your name? What called you, literally? I often like to translate directly so it makes a bit more sense for people. And it's always funny because it sounds a bit like Yoda language, right? When you translate directly. What called you? Hvad hedder du? Hedder is a notoriously difficult word to pronounce. Very quickly, here's a little technique that I picked up once, and that was break the word down into two very sharp syllables. Hill-ah. 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 And you can practice that sound by taking away some of the other letters. For example, just leave yourself with the E and the R. E-R. 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 Then add the H back in. He-R. 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 Which is also kind of slang, you can say like, hvad hedder det? Hvad hedder det? What is it called? What is it called? But then the sound we're missing is the soft D in the middle, which, I don't know, something like, ugh. Ugh. Your tongue behind your bottom teeth. Hill-ah. Hilda. It's tempting to say it like a soft sound, but remember that Danish can be quite choppy. Anyway, let's get moving because we're never going to get through this if I keep talking like this. Next one. Hvad dit navn? Hvad dit navn? Hvad dit navn? What's your name? Much more like English, right? Your response? Jeg hedder Liam. Jeg hedder Liam. You could also say, mit navn Liam. Mit navn Liam. Mit kaldernavn my nickname is kaldernavn. I like this one. Another way you might say is like, jeg hedder Liam, my name is Liam, but my friends call me this. Mine venner kalder mig for. Mine venner kalder mig for. Pikhoved. Dickhead. No, they don't really. You might ask somebody, do you have a nickname? Har du et kaldernavn? Har du et kaldernavn? Hvad med et kaldernavn? Slightly another way to say it. Hvad med? Hvad med is a really useful two words to have because you can ask so many things, right? The most common we've probably already had here on the channel is, what about you? How about you? Hvad med dig? Hvad med dig? But hvad med, I don't know, you want to suggest something to somebody. Hvad med vi ser en film? How about we watch a movie? Hvad med kartofler til aftensmad? How about potatoes for dinner? It wasn't the most inventive, creative, exciting thing I could come up with, but, well, have my Danish head on. Kartofler. Next one. Hvad så? What's up? What's going on? Hey, sup? Hvad så? Hvad så? So it's a very relaxed way that usually you'd say to your friends like, hey, what's up? But you could also say it to somebody you're just meeting, like, hey, hvad så? Then the person is probably going to say, yeah, not much, we're doing this, or whatever. They're going to sort of fill you in on what's going on right now. Cool to meet you, or sort of nice to meet you. Fedt at møde dig. Fedt at møde dig. The common one you might hear, right, is hyggeligt at møde dig. Cozy to meet you. Hyggeligt at møde dig. But, well, I find it a little bit like, bleh. A little bit, bleh. It's the only way I can describe it. It's a bit bleh. I prefer to use the word fedt. Fedt at møde dig. Maybe you're introducing somebody. An easy way to say it is, det her, det er min. Det her, det er min. And for example, my friend Jay. Det her, det er min ven Jay. Or my boyfriend, kæreste. Det her, det er min kæreste. You can also drop the word det her, or the two words det her. You say, hey, det er min kæreste, Jim, for example. Where are you from? Hvor er du fra? Or rather I should say like, hvor er du fra? Hvor er du fra? I'm not from around here. I'm not from here. Jeg er ikke herfra. Jeg er ikke herfra. Jeg er ikke herfra. I grew up in. Jeg er opvokset i. Jeg er opvokset i. Jeg er faktisk. I'm actually. Probably he's like, you're going to say, oh, I'm actually from this place. Jeg er faktisk opvokset i. You could say, actually I grew up in this place. Or jeg er faktisk fra Bulgarien. I'm actually from Bulgaria. My parents are. Mine forældre er. Right, our world is full of color, different cultures blending together. And, well, maybe your parents are from a specific place that, well, you were not born in that place yourself, but maybe your parents were. Anyway, you want to tell somebody where your parents are from? Mine forældre er. Mine forældre er. Mine forældre er. And then you could just, insert the word that's relevant to you. Brasilianer, Brazilians, or they are fra Brasilien, they're from Brazil. Do you have siblings? Brothers, sisters? Har du søskende? Har du søskende? I have 5 brothers and 1 sister. Jeg har 5 brødre og en søster. Jeg har 5 brødre og en søster. True story, my parents have been very busy. At least my father, he has 4 children. And well, my mother also has, let me think, my brother, my sister, and me. She also has 4. Yeah, they've been very busy. Do you often speak with your family? Snakker du tit med din familie? Snakker du tit med din familie? Maybe you want to ask somebody whereabouts in a country they are from, right? Often when I tell people I'm from England, they say, where in England are you from? Hvor i England er du fra? Hvor i England er du fra? Hvor i Danmark er du fra? Hvor i Spanien er du fra? Sådan. Did you grow up in a little or a big city? Or town, little town, big town. Er du opvokset i en lille eller stor by? Er du opvokset i en lille eller stor by? Why are you learning Danish? Hvorfor lærer du dansk? Hvorfor lærer du dansk? I'm learning because. Jeg lærer fordi. Jeg lærer fordi. Usually it's either boyfriend or girlfriend is Danish, or you have a job in Denmark, and then sometimes it's just because I want. Jeg lærer fordi min kæreste er dansker. I'm learning because my girlfriend is Dane. It's a Dane. Og jeg lærer fordi jeg har et arbejde i Danmark. Learning because I have a job in Denmark. Og jeg lærer fordi jeg har lyst. Simpelthen. Just because I want to, really. That's it. Jeg lærer fordi det er sjovt. It's fun. Why have you moved to Denmark? Hvorfor er du flyttet til Danmark? Hvorfor er du flyttet til Danmark? Jeg er flyttet fordi. I moved because. Jeg er flyttet fordi. Or you could lose the word er and just say, jeg flyttede fordi. Jeg flyttede fordi. And again, insert the words, whatever it's gonna be. I got a job. Jeg flyttede fordi jeg fik et job. Maybe you're talking with somebody that is thinking about moving to Denmark. They didn't yet, so you might ask, why do you want to move to Denmark? Which often sounds like will. Hvorfor vil du flytte til Danmark? An important thing here is to note that the word vil is often your wish, your want, or your desire, rather than something that you will do. So yeah, that's it. If you say things like, jeg vil ned i supermarkedet, I want to go down to the supermarket, that sounds like you want to do it rather than you will. So I will go down to the supermarket, you say in English. In Danish there you would use, jeg skal ned i supermarkedet, or just the verb to take. Jeg tager ned i supermarkedet probably is even better. Maybe you want to tell somebody how long you've been living somewhere, and that could of course be Denmark, but it could be another place. Jeg har boet her i. Jeg har boet her i. And the amount of years, months, days, weeks you've been there. Another important note here, the word I is used about a duration of time. So in English we say for, I've lived here for this many years. And check out the card here, where you can see a video about the 3 prepositions of time. Very important, because these are not matching so well with English, so it's good to check this out. Next one is, I work for, and the company. Jeg arbejder hos, insert company name. Jeg arbejder hos. Hos is a really interesting word that usually, you can use it about, like in this context, the company that you work for. So it kind of translates as for, right? Or you could think at, I work at, then the place. You also use it for your friends. You're at your friend's house, for example. You might say, jeg er hos Liam. Jeg er hos Liam lige nu. Maybe you're going to sleep at my place or stay over for the night. Jeg sover hos Liam i aften. Jeg skal sove hos Liam. But then hos is kind of used in some other kind of fun ways, like I always give the example of sitting around the dinner table and maybe you want to know, where's the salt? Hvor er saltet? And somebody might say, det er hos Liam, right? It's in Liam's vicinity. It is around Liam. He has it. Liam har det. You could also say, men det er hos Liam. And then kids often might use it to say, when they want to be around their parents. Jeg vil gerne være hos dig, mor, for example. I want to be with you, mom. And that could mean at your house, but I'm thinking more of just like, I want to be close to you. Maybe after they've been upset about something. Doesn't have to be kids, could also be adults. Jeg vil gerne være hos dig, skat. I want to be with you. I don't want to go out with the guys drinking, for example. Okay, what is your occupation? Hvad er dit erhverv? Hvad er dit erhverv? Jeg arbejder som, I work as, and again, jeg arbejder som, insert your profession, dit erhverv. You could also just say, jeg er, and your profession, for example, jeg er lærer, jeg er lærer, jeg er dansklærer, jeg er ingeniør, I'm an engineer, or jeg er kok, I'm a chef, not a cook. Check out my short video here for a funny video about the difference between in cock or in chef. That's a good one. Maybe you want to ask somebody, have you got a job? Har du et job? Har du et job? Have you a job? Ja, det har jeg. Yes, I do. Follow-up question. Kan du lide det? Do you like it? Kan du lide det? That's like the best question ever to have, because you can ask about almost anything, right? Just a very typical thing to ask is, do you like it? You like what you're doing? You like that thing? You like what happened? Another follow-up question. What do you like most about it? Hvad kan du bedst lide ved det? Hvad kan du bedst lide ved det? A response would be, jeg kan bedst lide, and the thing. Jeg kan bedst lide lønnen, for example, the salary. Jeg kan bedst lide mine kolleger, my colleagues. Jeg kan bedst lide arbejdsmiljøet. I like the work environment. How long have you been in Denmark? Hvor længe har du været i Danmark? Hvor længe har du været i Danmark? Do you plan to stay? Har du planer om at blive? Har du planer om at blive? I love this one. Often comes up, the verb to plan in English is not at plane in Danish. That would be like when you're planing a piece of wood or something. The verb would actually be planlægge, which sounds like to lie or lay a plan. To make plans is at planlægge, whereas the noun is in plane, a plan. So here you have sort of a fixed expression that is at have planer om, to have plans to do something. Jeg har planer om at rejse i juli. I have plans to travel in July. Jeg har planer om at rejse i juli måned. It can be that, det kan være at, then the thing. It can be that I travel next week, for example. Det kan være at jeg rejser i næste uge. It's sort of a universal phrase that you can use it to explain about, almost anything. I'm not sure. Jeg er ikke sikker. An interesting one that I sometimes get asked is the word ikke, often gets pronounced ek, and you can pretty much say it one way or the other. So, jeg er ikke sikker, or jeg er ikke sikker. Often you would say ikke when you're putting a bit more stress on the word ikke, right? Like, I'm not sure. Jeg er ikke sikker. Or just like when you say to somebody like, right? Ikke? Moving on. Maybe I will. Måske vil jeg. Maybe I will do this. Maybe I want to do this. I've been thinking about. Jeg har tænkt mig at. Anytime you've been thinking about doing something, like considering almost. Jeg har tænkt mig at. Okay, so now we're getting on to asking somebody like, where do you live exactly? Sort of, imagine you're meeting somebody in Denmark. So, where do you live exactly? Hvor bor du egentlig? What's the coolest about Denmark, do you think? In your opinion? Hvad er det fedeste ved Danmark, synes du? Do you have a favorite place in Denmark? Copenhagen, Aarhus. Har du et yndlingssted i Danmark? København, Aarhus. Har du et yndlingssted i Danmark? I København, i Aarhus. Don't you miss your home country? Don't you miss your home? Savner du ikke dit hjemland? Follow-up question. What do you miss the most? Hvad savner du mest? What's interesting, right, is with this kind of questions is you're not only learning Danish, but you're also kind of learning how to proceed with a conversation, how to be the one to lead a conversation. I've talked about it many times, how when you are the person asking questions, you are the person that is leading the conversation, and you are getting the other person to do most of the talking, which in general also makes people like you, right? Because people like to talk. They like to get things off their chest. Imagine somebody's, talking, and you are just asking them questions, getting them to talk. They're going to be like, oh, wow, I feel so much better after talking to that guy, that girl. And they'll be like, oh, no, sorry, I've been talking about me the whole time. What about you? At which point you can play the mysterious kind of like, no, I don't have anything to tell you about me. Anyway, you want to say what it is that you miss? Jeg savner faktisk, insert the thing you miss, virkelig meget. Jeg savner faktisk maden virkelig meget. I actually miss the food a lot. Jeg savner faktisk maden virkelig meget. Could be your family, of course. Jeg savner faktisk min familie virkelig meget. Have you experienced, insert a place, a building, whatever it might be. Could be, for example, Tivoli. If you don't know Tivoli, the theme park in the center of Copenhagen. Har du oplevet Tivoli? Don't you think that? Synes du ikke at? Don't you think that? Jeg synes. I think. Jeg synes. Great one here. You could also say jeg tror. The 2 for 1, 2 ways to say think. Here's another card. Check out this video. Difference between tror and synes. Next few are some that I've always really liked that are different ways to say jeg synes when you're giving your opinion about something. For example, if you ask me, hvis du spørger mig. Ja, hvis du spørger mig. If you ask me, hvis du spørger mig. In my opinion, efter min mening, to be honest, for at være ærlig. If I had to be honest, hvis jeg nu skal være ærlig. Nice, really great phrases. So as you get more advanced into the language, you, of course, as with any language, start to realize that there are many ways to say the same thing. So nothing is textbook, right? Nothing is set in stone, and you can start to create your own ways, hopefully, to say things. Let's continue with a little bit more, which is going to be a bit more about your relationships. Are you married? Do you have a boyfriend, girlfriend, that sort of stuff. Firstly, do you have a boyfriend, girlfriend? Har du en kæreste? Recently somebody asked me what is the difference between kære and we had the word kærlighed, kærlig, kæreste. So they're all sort of related, right? Because you could say min kære, which means my love, almost like my darling in a way. Min kæreste, you can think of it as something like my most love, because it's almost like a conjugation of the word kære, in the sense that there are many adjectives that do that, right? If I said varm, hot, varmeste, hottest, kold, cold, koldeste, or den koldeste, I should actually say, den varmeste, den koldeste, the hottest, the coldest, min kæreste, my most loved one, you could say, which is your boyfriend or your girlfriend. Until, of course, you get married, and then you say, jeg er gift. I'm married. I got married in 1987, for example. I didn't, that's when I was born, but maybe you did. Jeg blev gift i 1987. Of course, you need to learn the numbers. Here, a natural thing might be to drop off the 1900, and just say 87, which is 7 and 80, 87. So I got married in 87. Okay. Where did you meet each other? Hvor mødte I hinanden? Where did you meet each other? How about kids? Hvad med børn? Here we have a good example. Hvad med? Earlier I had a hard time thinking of something, but I mentioned how hvad med, insert whatever it is you're talking about, is a great way to ask almost anything. Just change the ending. So, you're married. Hvad med børn? How about kids? You have kids? It's a way of asking sort of indirectly. Har du børn? Do you have kids? We live together. Vi bor sammen. I'm single. Jeg er single. Single. It's really hard to explain the difference in pronunciation. Of course you can hear it, but single. It's almost like when I say single in Danish, my mouth is slightly more in a sort of smiling shape. Single. I'm exaggerating a bit, right, man? Yeah, single. I've just broken up with my boyfriend, girlfriend. Jeg har lige slået op med min kæreste. Notice how I'm saying boyfriend, girlfriend. There's only one word for both boyfriend and girlfriend, and that is kæreste. So the context, or somebody having to explain to you, is kind of the only way that I know of where you would know whether someone... Well, that's a loud bird. I wonder if you can hear that. Hold no kæft. Shut up. Anyway, moving on. Just a few left. Great, okay, so the last sort of section is going to be a bit about more like free time. And for sure, I've already got a video on free time. Check out this card here. But let's do a few more. There may be some repetitions here, but there may be also some new ones. Here we go. What do you do in your free time? Hvad laver du i din fritid? Hvad laver du i din fritid? And the video that I have in my fritids video, my video on free time, and a class that I often do, I've used quite often this video where there's a woman going around the streets asking people, hvad laver du i din fritid? And they are giving very simple responses using different verbs. So, jeg cykler, jeg tegner, jeg løber, jeg kan godt lide at stå på ski, and so videre. It's a really great video if you're a beginner, so check out the card that I mentioned. A response to hvad laver du i din fritid might be faktisk mange ting. Actually, a lot of things. Faktisk mange ting. Or, a funny one, again from the video I mentioned, is as little as possible. Så lidt som muligt. Så lidt som muligt. Do you do sport? Dyrker du sport? Dyrker du sport? Yeah, I do yoga, I do martial arts, I do CrossFit. There's many things that you can dyrke in Danish. Ja, jeg dyrker yoga. Jeg dyrker kampsport. Jeg dyrker CrossFit. How often do you do it? Hvor tit dyrker du yoga, for example? It's a very simple follow-up question again that I would often use in a class where I ask somebody, what do you do? They give me a list of things that they do. Maybe they cycle, they read, de cykler, de læser, de dyrker yoga. Then I might ask one by one, hvor tit cykler du? How often do you cycle? Hvor tit læser du bøger? How often do you read? And lastly, hvor tit dyrker du yoga? How often do you do yoga? And the response might be, yeah, one of many things, but some examples could be hver dag, every day, hver dag, every second day or every other day, hver anden dag, several times per week, flere gange om ugen. And if you want to say specifically 5 days per week, 4 days per week, replace flere with the number. 5 gange om ugen, 4 gange om ugen, 2 gange om ugen. Sådan. You might again ask, how long have you been doing yoga? Or, what was the other one? I forgot what it was, doesn't matter. Hvor længe har du dyrket yoga? Hvor længe har du dyrket yoga? So now we've kind of come into verbs in present tense and past tense, which, do I have a video on that? If I do, it's here on the card. I'm going to check. But I'm pretty sure I do. But this is the most common conjugation. You have dyrker, present tense with this R, and dyrket with the EDE ending in the past, and har dyrket, or you pronounce it actually dyrket, har dyrket. Hvor længe har du dyrket? Do you play? Spiller du? That could be music. Notice here how musik, in Danish you have expression on the word sik at the end, musik, whereas in English you say music at the beginning. There are many words that can trip you up a little bit like that because they're so close but so far away, right, in regards to pronunciation. We almost spell them as exactly the same, so it's tempting to say spiller du music, right? And it's a very small but noticeable pronunciation mistake. Kan du lide? We had this one earlier. Kan du lide det? Do you like it? About your work. So again, could be about anything. Kan du lide? So I'm thinking here, when you want maybe something they haven't mentioned in their free time that they do in their free time, and something that you do, maybe computer games. Kan du lide computerspil? Kan du lide tennis? Kan du lide fodbold? You like football? Whatever it might be. Next up are some expressions that I have used in the video I previously mentioned, which are great when talking about stuff that you're into, that you're excited about. For example, I'm really into, jeg går meget op i. and the thing that you're really into. Check out the video for a bit more of an explanation on this expression. It's kind of unique. Are you interested in? Du interesseret i? Du interesseret i denne ting? Filosofi? Du interesseret i filosofi? Psykologi? Teknologi? Hvad du interesseret i? Sådan. The next one. I'm going to delete that one. It's a bit weird. Maybe you've told somebody about a place that you're going, something you're going to do, or you've told them that you play football, for example. Jeg spiller fodbold 3 gange om ugen. You want to ask, you want to come? You want to give it a try, sort of thing. Vil du være med? Vil du være med? Jeg skal spille fodbold på fredag. I'm going to play football on Friday. Vil du være med? You want to come along? Some other expressions where we had before, dyrke. You could also, when something is your hobby, you often say that you go to that thing. So I go to football, right? I go to badminton 3 times per week. Jeg går til badminton 3 gange om ugen. Jeg går til fodbold 3 gange om ugen. There are not many examples where they fit sort of well with English, but I feel like that's one of them. Have you made some good friends there? Have you made some new friends there, rather? Har du fået nogle nye venner der? Har du fået nogle nye venner der? Har du fået nogle nye venner der? How much does it cost to? Hvad skal det koste at? Hvad skal det koste at spille fodbold? Again, play football. You could ask it another way. Does it cost anything? Koster det noget? Koster det noget? Cost it something? Cost it anything? Another that is similar to, vil du være med? You want to try, you want to come along? Well, really this one is more like you want to give it a try. Vil du gerne prøve det af? Vil du gerne prøve det af? Vil du gerne prøve det af? You want to give it a shot? Does it sound like something to you? For you? Could it be something for you, literally? Kunne det være noget for dig? Kunne det være noget for dig? Kunne det være noget for dig? You could ask the verb, you could use the word sound, which is lyder. Lyder det som noget for dig? Lyder det som noget for dig? Yeah, that is really me. That's just me. Just my thing. Det er lige mig. Yeah. Oh yeah, det er lige mig. And lastly, that's my cup of tea. Det er lige min kop te. The most British expression in Danish that exists. Det er lige min kop te. And on that note, my voice is getting a little bit broken and I feel like I need a cup of tea. So that's it. Thanks for watching. Thanks for listening to this Daily Necessary Danish Phrases part 4. Hope you enjoyed it. As always, leave a comment. Let me know if there is a specific topic or area of phrases that you think could be useful. This one, for example, was about small talk, questions, continuing conversations, but maybe you have something specific in mind that would be useful for you. Let me know in the comment section below. Let me know if you like this video, like it, subscribe if you didn't do it already, and share it with all your Danish learning friends. Thanks again. See you in the next one. Hej hej. DanishTube.